All right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co host, Jake Ellenbogen. And guys, we are coming to you with our final Rams mock draft of the 2024 NFL draft season. We have done two of these already. We told you we'd give you three, where we are using PFF's mock draft simulator to curate a mock draft for our Los Angeles Rams. And each time we're going to try to do something a little different. So that way we have three very different scenarios of what the Rams do during the draft. And we'll see if any of them somewhat align with what the Rams end up doing. It might not. These all three might be very off base, but we are going to do our best. And yeah, we'll get this started. Jake will pull up the simulator that he is good at running. He's more technologically advanced than I am. So he'll pull that up and we will do our best to describe in great detail what we're seeing for those of you who aren't watching on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the mock draft on the screen. So you can kind of see the pool we're working with, who's been selected, what the picks are, etc. If you are listening on audio, Jake and I will do our very best to kind of talk through what we're doing so you guys know what's up if you can't see it. I know last time we kind of forgot to do that a little bit. So thank you for bearing with us. We will try to be better about that this episode. Jake, anything you want to say before we start rocking and rolling?
Well, I already forgot what we did the last time. I remember the first draft a little bit more because you got Worthy. And then I traded you got not Latu. You got Verse, and then I actually traded back into the first round and took Chop. And then you drafted Worthy. I remember that one, but I don't remember the last one we just
So the last one, which was the one that you picked in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny? That's the one I don't remember.
And you traded up for
I think I got Fashion. Okay, yeah, I got Fashion. Okay. And then you picked Jonah Ellis.
Yes, in the second. And so I mean, should we read through what we've done the past two? Or
if you have it.
I will check and see if you've sent it to me, just so people know why what's different about this one.
Yeah.
While I am pulling that up really quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Joey, who sent me this hoodie from his new clothing brand. I don't know if you can see this in the camera. It says Pink Tongue. And it's like one of the comfiest hoodies I've ever. There you go. Thank you, Jake. He just zoomed in on it. One of the comfiest hoodies I have ever worn. And I ordered mine extremely oversized because, as you guys know who watch our show a lot, I just love swimming in my clothing, and especially sweats and hoodies.
Doing it right now.
Yeah, Jake does as well. He's got on his hoodie. So I ordered this one oversized, and I just love it. And it's really, really comfortable. And you can go on my Instagram story when this drops. I have it on there right now, so that way anybody who's interested can reach out to Joey and get yourself a hoodie, because there's like 6 more colors, not just the one that I'm wearing.
Cool.
But yes, very, very comfortable. Love it. I'm a hoodie kind of freak.
Jake, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I mean, every episode we do, I'm in a sweatshirt. So let me see if I can find. Okay, so here's what we did. Wait, nope, that's just the first draft. Jake, you might not have sent me what we did the second draft.
I might not have. I mean, you know, it is what it is. So it's not a huge deal.
You guys are just gonna have to trust us, for those of you who didn't hear the first two, that we are shaking it up this time. So for those of you who remember, there's record of it. You can go watch the previous drafts. We're going to try to do something completely different. At least the first 4 rounds. After round 4, we're not going to really try to divert too much. But I will say the first 2 mocks that we did on here, we traded up in the first round. So I have the first round pick this time because Jake picked first last time. And as I told Jake before the show, I'm going to stay at 19 or move back, because that is something that we can do very different, because we've traded up the first 2 times. So no matter what, I've decided I'm staying at 19.
I found it. I just pulled up the video.
Oh,
It's
you
all
did?
right. So yeah, so I traded up to 13 with the Raiders. Gave up
Mm-hmm.
a second rounder in 2025. Well, I think that's realistic to trade down or trade up 13 or trade up 6 spots to 13. I don't think it's realistic looking back at it. I think the Raiders will probably take Fashion U there. So I think they'd have to get up to 12, which by the way, I've heard they've definitely been looking to potentially get up to 12 with the Broncos. So keep that in mind. Um, so I took Fashion U. You took Jonah Ellis at 52. I
Yep.
stayed at 83 and took Trey Benson. At 109, you took. So there was a trade down. Yeah, you traded down from 99 to 109 and got a 143 pick with that. So you got Cam Hart from Notre Dame, cornerback. I got Makai Wingo, defensive interior lineman from LSU at 143. Then at 154, you took Zach Zinter, the guard from Michigan. I took Luke McCaffrey, wide receiver from Rice. And then at 196, we also stayed there. You took Brennan Jackson. I ended up taking the tight end, Tanner McLaughlin, and it doesn't look, I don't know why I'm not scrolling. Okay, there we go. You took Tanner Bortolini at 213, still in the 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
I took Miles Harden, cornerback, at 217. And then you took Harrison Mevis to wrap it up.
Right. Okay. That's familiar to me now. And then
Yeah, now it feels real.
the first one that we did, we drafted we 2 edge rushers in the first round. I
Yes.
traded up for Jared Verse, and then you traded back into the first for Chop Robinson. And then we took Xavier Worthy in the second, and then I forget what happens after that. But again, if you guys want to listen to like all of these mocks back to back to back in order to prepare for the draft, you'll find that they're different. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, let's get this thing going, Jake. Like I said, I'm gonna stay at 19 or move back just so we can start off a differently because we traded up the first 2 times.
All right, cool. So I'll start the draft. We're on slow, so it's easier to. So you're not gonna trade up.
No, I'm for sure staying at 19 or moving back, but I will not be trading up.
Okay, so due to time constraints. Okay, somehow Seattle turned down picking Troy Fatani, which I feel like that's who they would pick. But
Right.
okay, so you got Cooper DeJean, you got Leatu Latu, you got Jerzon
Mm-hmm.
Newton, Amarius Mims, Adonai Mitchell, Graham Barton, Nate Wiggins, Brian Thomas Jr., Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jackson Powers Johnson, Troy Franklin, Peyton Wilson, Tyler Nubin, Lad
Mm-hmm.
McConkey. I feel like we're kind of out of the first at
So
this point,
yeah, so
but
if we go back to the top,
Chop Robinson's also there. So is Guyton, Jordan Morgan. So
so my inclination, so the first mock we did, we went edge. The second we went offensive tackle. So I'm very interested in possibly taking Newton here. I think I've
interesting.
grown away from the idea of taking an interior defensive lineman in the first, if I'm being honest. So that's kind of holding me back from taking Newton. Not
I
that
feel that.
Newton is a great, in my opinion. I mean, I love Newton. I think he's a great prospect. He's great film. Would
If you
not be
watch that
upset.
game, a 68 just doesn't. That's ridiculous.
We
I
did, you
watched
know
that
what?
game as a Kansas fan. That was.
We watched that. I watched that game too. Do not
Oh
remember?
yeah, we watched that game together.
We were texting because for
Yeah,
whatever reason I had the Illinois game on and they were playing Kansas, and I was like, watch out for Newton.
he
Like,
just destroyed the backfield. Now Kansas
yeah,
won decently easy, but he did everything he could to make
yeah,
sure it
he
wasn't
was the
easy.
star for Illinois.
Yeah,
Like, he was the bright spot for that team. So, part of me wants to take him because I do want to switch it up a little bit from what we've done. But there are a couple other guys there. Like Amarius Mims feels intriguing to me. I don't know that I like Mims enough to take him here. Um, if you could go back to the thank you at the screen. So I could take Latu to make up for the fact I didn't take him in the first round, which when I took Jared Verse and people were upset with me because they really like Latu and I didn't take him. There's no receiver there that I really want to take. I know that you like Brian Thomas Jr. I do like him as well, but I just
Yeah, I mean,
I like Nate Wiggins a lot too, but I feel like I've moved away from them taking a corner in the first.
I'm gonna say what I would do. Obviously, do whatever you want. And I think you should also say that when I pick as well.
Mhm.
Personally, since we're mixing it up, we already went tackle, we went edge. I would take Brian Thomas Jr. here, or trade down, or I would have
I'm
traded up.
either I'm almost interested in trading back like 4 or 5 spots because
So
there's no one there.
Miami wants Jerzon Newton, I think, to replace Christian Wilkins.
Let's see what they can offer us.
So I mean, if you went down 2 spots, oh, they have like nothing.
Yeah, I don't like that I
Yeah,
don't
no,
like the
that's not.
return. Who else
Oh,
is
look at all these teams
offering?
interested. Everyone's interested in this pick. I mean, I think a good spot here is the Buccaneers because I feel like they would want an edge here. I feel like they would
Mm-hmm.
take Latu. So if 26, so you move down 7 spots and maybe get 89. Would they also give up 92? Want to try that?
Try 89. Well, yeah, we try that. If not, I would do.
Oh my God, they gave us 2 third round picks. Okay.
I don't
They
know that
really
I would.
wanted Latu.
All
I
right,
think they'd consider it because we're not asking for a second rounder.
right. Hey, I'll
So
take it. I
yeah.
like that because there's so now we are
Oh, sorry.
at
That freaked me out.
um
Oh, look at that. If you
so
wanted to
okay.
take Newton, he fell. They
Newton is
traded up to
still
get.
here.
Wait, who'd they get? Oh, they took Brian Thomas Jr. So Latu went to the
Hmm.
Dolphins. Okay. Yeah.
So
So,
let's
I mean, you're running out of like legitimate
yeah.
first round options, but
I think at this spot Newton
you're going to
is the
take Newton.
best
Okay.
because all the other ones except for the corners
Mm-hmm.
to me could very easily slide into the second. So if we're gonna stay in the first, I think I want to take Jerzon Newton because out of all of those guys, he's for sure the best player available in my mind. And
Okay.
yeah, you put him on the interior defensive line, him, Kobe, and Bobby Brown.
Oh my God. They took Chop. Well, I wasn't going to take Chop, actually. I,
So Jake is eyeing it. Are you eyeing trading back into the first?
I was considering it, but the problem is I can't really see the board. So
Yeah, for those of you who are listening and not watching, when the simulator is running, you can't see the board,
I'm gonna
which is
just
a little
let this thing
unhelpful.
go. Yeah, I'm gonna let this thing go.
So Jake is staying at our spot in the second. So that's where we're going.
That's so weird that I have to do that. Okay. So I'm at 52. I have an 83. Well, we have an 83, 89, 82, 80, and a 99. So we
Mm-hmm.
have 4 picks in the third round. So that's a lot of
Right.
ammo. Um, and you took an interior defensive lineman. So I might, this is tough here. Um,
So off the bat, from who I'm looking at, there's no one I love right there, but I do kind of like Ricky Pearsall out of Florida. We've taken a Florida receiver in recent years, Van Jefferson. Familiar with that program. Um, let's see, you're still filtering it out. I mean,
yeah, I would
Jonah
probably
Ellis,
only take like these. Well,
I
not
obviously like
linebacker.
Jonah Ellis in this spot. That's who I took the last draft. I really like him as a prospect. There's no corner there that I love at this spot.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm gonna trade down here.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's see here. Let's move down to just to give us something to think about. Let's move down, but stay ahead of the 49ers. And let's take if that works. Okay. Let's see if we get 93rd. Okay, cool. So we're just like swimming in third round picks. We got 5. I don't think it's out of the question though. I mean, based on what we've done, it's not like Madden-esque, you know what I mean?
No,
I don't think
it's very
we've done
reasonable.
anything crazy. So, okay. Move down, pick 62. And this actually works out pretty well for me because I'm going to take Karan Amagaji. And the reason
Yeah.
behind it is we established early on, like Tyler Guyton's gone, Amarius Mims is gone. You take an interior defensive lineman, so that's taken care of. We don't have to worry about that. I feel like the Rams really are going to go tackle in the first round, but if they don't, I think in the second or even third, they're going to look at a guy that they can really develop because there's only two guys, on this roster that can play left tackle and they're on 1-year deals. So I think Karan Amagaji, who has great traits, he's incredibly intelligent. And I'm not just saying that because he played in the Ivy League. I mean, the guy is really football savvy. I think he has a chance to be really good with the proper coaching. He ended up grading in the top 7 for me of tackles. So I'm going to take Karan Amagaji. And do you want me to stop it? Do you plan trading up? Like, how do you want to do it?
Well, so our next pick is, and sorry guys, I know I'm like zooming in because I can't see.
Next
So
pick is
60 or
83rd.
83. Let's stay at 83.
Okay, cool.
But I like that pick. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm leaning towards the Rams are going to take a tackle in the first round. But if they don't, I would like to see them address it in the second or early third, depending. Okay, so I'm at pick 83. We're in the third round. A lot of running backs.
So what do you want me to filter out for you?
So let's look at, we've gone interior defensive line. We've gone offensive tackle. I definitely want to look at the corners. I want to look at the edge. And I think I want to look at receiver because now we have a lot of third round picks. So
we got almost back to back there. Well, we got back to back. We almost have back to back to back. Okay, cool. So yeah. Do you want a running back, wide receiver, any of those?
Let's do receiver for now.
Receiver. And then that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually, I'm not saying that he would start right away, but in this case, they also met with Braylon Trice.
I do really like Braylon Trice.
I'm going to be biased here. I would absolutely take Austin Booker. But I think Hunt makes a lot of sense. I think Booker makes sense. I think Braylon Trice makes sense. I think, by the way, this is a newly updated PFF board, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I think it is as well. So for those who are listening, I'm basically looking at Jalen McMillan, the wide receiver out of Washington, Jalix Hunt, edge out of Houston Christian, Kyrie Jackson, the corner out of Oregon, Austin Booker, edge out of Kansas, Renardo Green, corner out of Florida State, Malik Washington, receiver out of Virginia, Javen Solomon, edge out of Troy, and Braylon Trice, edge out of Washington are the top picks there. So
yeah.
And we also have a lot of upcoming picks in this round. So I think
I kind of like the way this is falling.
I think I like Braylon Trice here.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of edges right here, but in my opinion, they're all very close. And we do know the Rams like Trice.
Yeah, they met with Trice, so there's definitely there's got to be some interest. So
I like him there, and I like it also because the Rams really need edge help, so I like addressing it as early as possible.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. This one's tough for me. I'm sitting there at 89, and this is really tough. 2 Kansas guys that I think would help. Because the thing about Pooney is that, and I wouldn't get him right now. Pooney can play center, guard, and tackle. So he offers upside there. I know a lot of Rams fans are high on Michael Hall Jr. Personally, I think if you go first round interior defensive lineman, you're good the rest of the draft. Cooper Beebe, I really like, but he might fall further because of the arm length, which doesn't bother me. I'm going to double dip here, and I think this is something the Rams would do if they missed out on getting a top edge defender in the first 2 rounds. I think they would probably do that. Trice, and I'm going to go with Booker. I think, you have length, you have athleticism. Booker was somebody, JUCO guy, goes to Kansas, and, just really impressive stuff there. So, I'll take Booker here, and then we have back-to-back picks afterwards, and you pretty much have all sorts of guys to choose from. So yeah.
So we've So we've taken so far interior defensive line, offensive tackle, and 2 edge rushers. Ooh, I really like Renardo Green here, corner out of Florida State, if I'm being honest. I like addressing corner early.
My only
Um,
issue is he really is just a man, like a press corner that doesn't really fit the scheme. But he's
yeah,
very
I mean,
talented. It's just I don't know if he'd be a scheme fit.
well, let's look at who else is there, but I do really like him as a
I mean, you
prospect.
you pick who you want. I'm just saying from my perspective. Um, I could totally see them going Eric All as well.
I
Maybe the
just don't
second
feel
best
like
tight end in this draft.
they're just not going to go tight end early because of the Colby Parkinson signing and then Davis Allen's emergence.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And I don't necessarily think they should, but I could see it.
Running back is interesting here. We know they've met with Estime a couple times.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen is available, who I like as well. I like
Mm,
Jerry Jones too. What is it
he's
with
another.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying like the corners out of Florida State, why do they always have like really good defensive backs there?
I don't know.
Um,
I mean, I guess it makes sense. Dion went there, so
I'm also intrigued by Pooney at this spot. It might be
he
a
is
little
very
earlier than
intriguing.
I would take him, but I like yeah, this is definitely an updated board because this is not the order that they had it, which is fine. Um, but
Yeah.
this has fallen way differently. Uh, I also like Jeremiah Trotter, but my issue with him is the injury thing, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I'm not like super high in this linebacker class. I like the
I'm
the
not
guy
either.
from Washington. If
I
he's
like this
I
linebacker
like this
class
guy a lot right
later.
here.
Yeah, but I like all those guys later, like after the fifth round, where it's kind of like you
I like
take that
him and I like
gamble.
Ford. Yeah, no, I hear you. I like him and Ford, I would say. I like Steele. I like Cedric Gray. Lou Faust, solid. I really like Jordan McGee. I liked him a lot more before the update, back when he was obtainable way late in the draft. Um, so
You know
yeah, I
what?
mean,
Let's address. Let's take Cooper Beebe
see, that's probably the one that I would have done. So
because yeah, just looking at everybody available, I feel like he is a need. I mean, we need a reliable backup guard. We obviously have a new starting guard in Jonah Jackson, and then we got Kevin Dotson, but I like him. I think he could start if needed, but giving him the ability to sit behind those guys, I really like that. An offensive line, we all know that I'm always like freaked out about depth there.
yeah, I like Eric All, but I don't know. Tight end seems a little early.
I like Tyrone Tracy, but again, feels a little early for him. So, what position are you thinking? Because we've addressed interior defensive line, tackle, guard, and 2 edge rushers.
I'll throw quarterback in there, but I'm probably not going to go that realm. Um, do we didn't take a corner?
No, not yet.
We did not take a safety. Um, I guess I'll put linebacker in there.
Receiver as well. We haven't taken a receiver.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's funny. Totally thought we took one. Okay, 93. Where do I want to go with this? I know Marshawn Lloyd offers upside to be a number one running back. I don't know how much he fits the Rams run scheme. I could definitely see Blake Watson. I could see Estime. And like my thing is, I don't truly love the receiver options, if I'm being
I don't
honest.
either. I don't
Like,
either.
I think we kind of missed the boat on receiver. I mean, let me check right here.
Well, I feel like there's just a gap. Like there's a lot of receivers that I like 5 and later. I mean,
Yeah.
Brendan Rice right here. Honestly, this could be end up being, I think, where Brendan Rice falls. This feels a little early for, well, Jacob Cowing, I think, could go here. I'm not as high in Jamari Thrash. Feels too early for Taj Washington. Feels too early for um, blanking. I just saw his name, the receiver
Isaiah
out of
Williams.
yeah, out of Illinois. It's too early.
Yeah. And then who do we have at corner? Let's see here.
And we also have a pick in like 6 picks after this. So you could, if you wanted, trade back and get more picks. And then you're really not having to move back that far regardless based on when we pick again.
Yeah, see, I feel like I don't think they're going to go crazy with corner early on in the draft. Like, definitely not day 3. Definitely day 3 is something that I kind of see. So I'll be out on corner there. Man, this is tough.
If it were me right now and I wasn't trading back, I think I'd be most intrigued by Jeremiah Trotter because of the upside there and the fact that we pick again in 6 picks.
Yeah.
I think I Well, yeah, I think he would be my pick. I like Tyron Tracy out of Purdue, but I like Estime more. We know they've met with Estime. I like Christian Mahogany too, but we just took a guard.
I'm probably going to go, I'm going to go best player available here according to my board. I would take Pooney. And the reason being is there's not currently a backup center on the roster. Pooney could be that center. So can play tackle, can play guard. You have BB, you have Karan Amagaji. I think there's just so much depth there. And for a team that has had issues in the past with offensive line depth, I think would no longer have that. You have Warren McClendon, you got Pooney, you got BB, Karan, you got Alec Jackson, Joe Noteboom. I mean, it's going to be hard to make that team, but hey, that's a good thing. So I'm going to go with that.
All right. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're up. So I'm going to take a running back, and I'm going to take Audric Estime. Jake took 2 of his Kansas guys. I'm going to take a Notre Dame guy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility because the Rams have met a couple times with Estime.
They have.
And he is a perfect complement to Kyren Williams' game, a very completely different type of running back who I think the Rams would be interested in for that reason. So I think he makes a lot of sense there with how the draft is shaken out. And I think that's exactly kind of in the range of where he'll go when the draft happens. So Jake is up now at pick 154.
No, I agree with you. And for people that don't know, and obviously they don't have access to like our text messages and stuff. I think I had texted you last week or whatever, and I was watching Estime, and I was like, wait a minute, I could really see him on the Rams. I think he gives them a little bit of a deviation of what they currently have on the roster, where he runs with a little bit more power than Kyren. He also can be utilized in pass pro. He's not the greatest in the world, but he's solid enough where, hey, you can leave him on the field in third down situations and you're not like panicking. Because, I mean, bottom line is like you have to earn being on the field. If I'm going to let you play running back on my football team, you have to make sure Matthew Stafford isn't eating turf, and I think that's the thing. So it's a big reason why Zach Evans didn't get on the field last year. I think it's a big reason why Estime could be an option there. And again, we've already said, they've shown interest. So definitely a player that I think makes sense. And I like the pick.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So
I like
with
the pool
that,
of guys here.
Yes, I like them as well. So I'm actually gonna go. I think I know where I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jalen Coker here. I don't think they have anything on him. Oh, they actually do have something on him. A draft and develop wide receiver 4/5. So the thing about Coker, good size, catches. I mean, a lot thrown. Yeah, I mean, he catches a lot thrown his way. Only 2 drops. Really good overall receiver, and I think he's somebody that maybe you don't draft if you don't have the best coaching staff. But I mean, I think the Rams, and maybe we're biased, but I think Eric Yarber's the best wide receiver coach in football, and I think the results speak for themselves. So I'm going to say Jalen Coker here for the Rams. I know some people go Cedric Gray, maybe even Cam Hart. I think we already took a corner, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we didn't.
Not.
We have not. Okay, well, I'm still going to take Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
Add
That's
him
who
to the
I would pick, by the
roster.
way.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
would
think
take
it
Jalen Coker here.
makes the most sense. I mean, Whittington is a guy I could totally see the Rams liking as like a replacement for Ben Skoranek since he's in a contract year. Um, Marcus Rosame, say Jack Saint, I'm not really seeing the fit there. So I mean, after that, it's like Anthony Gold. I've mentioned him before, could be huge in the return game, and I guess that offers some intrigue and value. But I think Coker is not a waste pick. I mean, here he is in the 5th round, right around where they got Puka Nacua. I wouldn't sleep on him. Holy Cross, okay, maybe he's a little slower to get going than Puka Nacua playing at Washington and BYU, but I think with the proper development, and the Rams have that, I think he could be a good receiver in this league. So there we go.
There we go. And next pick, we're up. Back-to-back picks.
It's funny. I just realized I said you probably want me to go Cedric Gray as if like he's gonna drop, but we had the next pick, so technically, all of these guys were not gonna fall.
Well, I do really like Cedric Gray, and we haven't taken a linebacker yet, so that's definitely intriguing. I also really like Cam Hart, and we haven't taken a corner yet. And secondary is, in my opinion, a big need for the Rams, so he's intriguing. I like Well, I don't want to go edge or guard again. We've already taken 2 edge defenders. We've taken 2 interior defensive linemen. We just took a receiver.
This might be a little too far down there.
Yeah. I think, I'm going to go Cedric Gray. I think he's the best player available from what I'm seeing right here. And I like addressing inside linebacker because I do think alongside Ernest Jones, I would like to see some improvement there. And also, theoretically, we don't know if Ernest Jones will sign a deal and come back. So I like Cedric Gray, and I actually think he will go higher than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the pick too. I think I probably, in that sense, I mean, now that it's like too late, I probably would have stuck with Gray or gone with Cam Hart. I like that you didn't pick Hart for the simple reason that we just picked him in the previous. Yeah. So, I mean, I like that, variation added to it. Okay. So we've picked wide receiver.
I feel like I know who you're eyeing here, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh, I don't even know who I'm eyeing here, so I don't even know what you're going to say. We haven't picked tight end yet. And we don't have to pick every single position also. Keep that in mind. And again, we're well aware of positional value and depth, and you don't necessarily just draft for need the entire time. But when you're doing a mock draft and you're doing a simulator, drafting for need is a lot easier than, obviously in the moment, we're probably thinking a little bit different. So linebacker's gone. Edge, we took 2. We're good. Interior defensive line. I want to see what's around, but I don't know if I'm going to pick anybody. Safety. Did we take a corner yet? We did not take a corner. I keep saying that. Interior offensive line's good. Offensive tackle's good. Running back is good. Wide receiver, I'd say is good. And I'll throw a quarterback in there. So, all right, this is what we're looking at, this new board here. Interesting stuff because I really like Tip Ryman here. I also really like AJ Barner. And I like Tanner McLaughlin a lot, but I already took him last draft. So this is way down here. So, okay, we're at 196. I'm going to take, by default here, I'm going to take a guy who I thought really stood out at the Senior Bowl, and I was really surprised. And I think he offers, well, first off, Bobby Brown will have somebody that he knows. McKinley Jackson from Texas A&M. I think he's somebody that really showed out at the Senior Bowl practices. I was really impressed with, essentially just his quick first step, and he was really giving guys the business in those one-on-one drills. So I think he could be interesting. I know they're saying more of, play nose in a 3 technique, 4-3 scheme, but I think he's a solid player. I mean, you're not drafting him here to assume he's going to be a starter like Sebastian Joseph Day ended up being. You're drafting him here for depth. And, I thought we killed it, definitely addressed this position going first round. But I think McKinley Jackson adds even more depth to now all of a sudden it's a strength. it went from a weakness to now it's a strength. So that's how I feel. Didn't go Gabe Hall, who I have a higher grade on because we already went with Gabe Hall in the last draft. So just trying to be a little bit more, But anyway,
Yeah.
McKinley Jackson.
I thought for sure you were going to take Tip.
Well,
And
it's
now
up to
I
you.
could take him if I want. I do really like Tip. I'm a little concerned we haven't gone secondary yet at this point.
Have we not gone
Because
secondary at all?
we haven't. And
Okay.
so
Well, I mean, there
let's
wasn't
look
really
at
anybody to take,
Yeah, I feel like it hasn't been falling well for us in the secondary. So let's
No.
just see who's here now at corner and safety. Okay, so I like James Williams. I don't know that I'm wanting to take him that badly. Let's see who else. I like Elijah Jones, but I haven't watched enough on him.
You love
I've
all the
only
man corners.
I know, but I don't want to say anything. I did not watch enough on him. I've only seen like some breakdowns of him. So, um,
I thought that
I
said
don't like
Jack whatsoever. Wow. I need to get some sleep.
I don't love any of this secondary here. I mean,
No, it's kind of brutal. I think honestly, what we probably should have done is just package these picks and just trade it up. But that's too
it's a
late.
little late. So you know what? Let's look at receivers. Let's look at receivers too. Because like we keep talking about and hearing from Rams Twitter, we only have 2 receivers under contract next year. I don't love the receivers here either.
Rams met with Mark Perry for what it's worth. They also met
It
with
just feels too early. I think if we're staying here, which at this point it's so late, I'm going to go best player available and I'm going to take Tip Ryman.
Cool. That's probably where I would have gone. Rams met with Jace McClellan. This is kind of tough. I don't know if he's going to fall this far, but I almost want to take Christian Boyd just because I think he's better than everyone else here. But it just feels unrealistic.
I don't think the Rams will take 3 interior.
Yeah, they just wouldn't do that. So, yeah, I'm going to probably pass on that.
I could see them going offensive tackle again. I know that we've taken 2 interior offensive linemen. We've taken a tackle, but depth-wise, I mean, if they like any of these tackles here, I could very well see them doing that in this situation.
Yeah, see, at this point in time, I don't think Lamé is gonna even be there, but I probably go with him.
Yeah,
he fits, and yeah, there's a lot. I mean, tons of tackles on board here. Okay, 217. We got 2 more picks.
let's go corner. I don't love anybody but that I'm seeing, but like, there's just no way the Rams don't address the secondary by this point. So, I'm not familiar with the guy you have pulled up, Ryan Watts, if I'm being honest, but
yeah, the options are kind of not a ton, not a plenty.
I mean, I guess, we're gonna have to bite the bullet and take somebody. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but it's just,
You
just
could
really feel like
also take a kicker.
I was thinking that because we've taken a kicker in the 7th round, both the first 2 times. So let's do it now. Let's take, who'd we take the first time? We took Cardi and then Mevis, right? So let's not take one of them. Let's take Cam Little. I haven't scouted the kickers, guys, if I'm being honest. I've just read bits and pieces of them, but I have no idea how to how to evaluate. All right.
All right.
Jake's got our last pick.
Last pick of the draft for the
Gonna save
Rams.
us and take a secondary player.
Let's see here.
Kenny Logan was there.
I know. Jason Bean. Do they even have anything on him? I think he's going to get moved to a wide receiver. Yeah, this is tough.
I mean, it's the
I don't
last
think
pick.
he's going to fall here, but I was like, I kind of want to go with Eric Watts just because he's the best available. You know what? I'm going to. Oh, damn. Rams met with Mark Perry.
Go for it. You
But
haven't taken a secondary.
I also like Kenny Logan Jr. a lot. I think he's the type of guy the Rams would draft. The captain, obviously a good defender, but he's a special teams guy too. I'm going to say they go Kenny Logan Jr. And we took 3 Jayhawks, but that's just the way it worked out. I kind of want to go with Mark Perry though, because we took 3 Jayhawks if I do that.
I mean, I hate to break it. I don't think the Rams will take.
They're not taking 3 Jayhawks. So I'm gonna go with
draft.
Mark Perry. Unless it's tough. I feel like they met with Perry. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mark Perry. I think that's what they would do. I think that's why they met with him. I think they met with him, a guy that can play special teams. I think he'll be there late. How many picks did we actually make? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So exactly 14, like last year. They did not like your pick of Braylon Trice for whatever reason. They thought you should have gone Kyrie Jackson. And maybe in hindsight, if we're all hindsight Hanks here, maybe they're right. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening.
Let's read this out for everybody, and then we'll go through it. Ooh, they did not like my estimate pick. All right. So first round, we traded back to pick 26. And I took defensive lineman Jerzon Newton out of Illinois. Got an A grade. So according to PFF, that was a good pick. In the second round, Jake traded back to pick 62. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, guys. And Jake, I'll let you say his last name, but Kyron.
Oh, Karan Amagaji.
Yeah. They liked that pick, and I like that pick too. A grade.
Yep.
Round 3, pick 83. I took Braylon Trice, edge out of Washington. They gave me a C+. Jake, was it the next pick? It was 6 picks later. Jake took edge Austin Booker. They gave it an A-.
So I'm better than you. That's what they just basically said.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense because they had
him rated
Booker
higher.
ranked higher.
Yeah.
Then 3 picks later, round 3, pick 92, I took Cooper Beebe. They gave it a C+. They did not like my pick. The next pick, because we had back-to-back picks, Jake drafted offensive lineman Dominic Pooney out of Kansas. They gave it a B-. Then I took pick 99, Audric Esme, the running back out of Notre Dame. They gave it a D-, which is surprising it was that low. I figured they weren't going to like it, but I didn't think they would really not like it. But all right. So then in round 5, pick 154, Jake took Jalen Coker. They gave it a C. I took at pick 155, the very next pick, linebacker Cedric Gray. They gave that an A-. In the 6th round at pick 196, Jake took McKinley Jackson, the defensive lineman out of Texas A&M. They gave it a B. At pick 209, I took tight end Tip Ryman out of Illinois. They gave that a B. Also in the 6th round at pick 213, Jake took Lamau, tackle out of Utah. They gave that a B+. 217 also in the 6th round. I took a kicker because the last 2 times we took a kicker in the 7th and they didn't like it. So I decided to take one in the 6th and we still got a C- grade. Cam Little, kicker out of Arkansas. Our very last pick in the 7th round, Jake took safety Mark Perry out of TCU and they gave it a C+, which brings our total mock draft grade to
An A
scroll
minus.
down. Okay. There we
Oh,
go.
you
A
can't see it.
minus. Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are you looking at?
Jake, that's the highest grade we've gotten.
So
Which is
before,
ironic because this is, in my opinion, my least favorite draft we've done.
yeah, it's my least favorite too. I mean, we're adjusting to like a whole new. Clearly, they did an update, so it's not even the
Yeah.
same results and everything. So I have the pronunciation for
Yeah, can you tell
Lao
me because
Maya.
it's Laumea. Okay,
So
because between him,
it's
oh
Sa
sorry,
Tao A Sa Tawa Lao Maya.
Laumea.
Satawa Lamea. There
Satawa
we go.
Laumea. Well, I'm glad between him and the taco out of Yale, like when I first off, when we watch film, you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
They're not saying the name.
No,
And
that's
then
how
when
you
I
know you're
go
doing it
find
well.
right. And so then I go and find clips that say the name, and I swear I hear every announcer pronounce things differently. And then it's
They have
like,
no idea what they're saying.
yeah, so then I'm like, what's real and what's not? So sometimes it's just easier to like, just be like, call them by their first name, which isn't right. Um, but
Yeah,
I'm
like
always insecure. I don't know which way is right and which way is wrong. Which is why I love it when they come on our show and we can just ask them and be like,
I know we get like
please,
the
tell
front row
us.
seat.
But yeah, interesting that we got an A minus grade on this draft. I am surprised because I feel like, again, I feel like our first 2 drafts I thought were better
That was
and we
annoying.
got lower grades.
They gave us awards that you can't literally see what they mean. So thank you for showing us how prestige we are. We can't even figure out what we got awards for. Maybe it's up here. No, it's nothing. Oh, here it is. First mock
Okay.
draft, 2 day streak, 7 round mock trade accepted.
How is it a
Wow.
2 day streak if it's if it's the first one?
Well, it's on my account. So I did a
Oh,
mock draft yesterday. I always do like just to find different scenarios. I'm not actually like, serious about most of them, but um yeah. And
so
so I finally know how to say Audric Estime. It's Audric Estime. I thought
did you
like,
not?
well, I've heard people say Estimi,
Oh,
Estemi.
no,
Um,
it's Audric Estime.
yeah, I mean that's how
Um,
I looked at it, Audric Estime, but I like,
well, like
as you know, I'm a stickler for the
so many
pronunciation.
people, everybody pronounces everything differently, and if it's not a team that you watch consistently, you don't know.
What
Um,
annoys me is when the comment section gets on me about pronunciation. It's like, bruh,
oh, trust me,
I'm
after this
taking
episode, I'm about to
liberties.
get, yeah, everybody is gonna be on my case after I just butchered like 4 names, but it is what it is, guys. Sorry, I don't watch a lot of these guys, unfortunately, until it's draft time because I don't have, and there's not enough time in the day during the season
So are
to
you
watch
calling him
everybody.
Jerzon or are you calling him Johnny Newton? Because I've seen both.
I've been calling him Jerzon because I haven't heard him refer to himself as Johnny, if I
Like
am
my thing is,
being
if your name
correct.
is
So,
Jerzon, why wouldn't you just want to be called Jerzon? It's a way cooler name.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, these are the
But
real questions we got to ask ourselves, folks. Like,
who
but
knows? It's like Chop Robinson. We know that he refers to himself as Chop, but if you look at a lot of these simulators, not PFF, but the other ones have his like given name, which is, I believe,
Damien,
Demetrius.
I
No,
think
wait,
it's Damien or Damien. It
Demarion.
might just be Damien, but it looks like it's Damien. So I don't know.
I've always heard him referred to as Chop, so that's what I go by. But like with
He's Chop
Jerzon,
for me. If your name's Chop, you shouldn't be trying to change that. So
well,
I
guys,
mean, it's different. Like I remember, Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees. His name used to be Mike Stanton, and then he changed it to Giancarlo, which I think is his actual
yeah.
name. But I think people do that. Then you get Chad Johnson of the world that will change it to Chad Ochocinco and just make up a last name. So there's also that too. But I think in conclusion, Alexis, this was not our best draft, but I think we kind of had our backs against the wall because we kind of had an idea of like, oh, okay, he goes here, and he goes here, and then they updated it based on where, and their updates are not necessarily deadly accurate either. It's just based on where they are on their board.
Well, for me, it was
So
more just trying to do something different than what we've done the past two.
that's the
So
thing.
I just was like, well, I don't want to repeat the same positions and players,
It was
especially
like
so early.
landmines. You're trying not
Yeah,
to
so
repeat. You also I wasn't aware Austin Booker never would fall to the third round. Neither would Braylon Trice. They would always go in the second. Amagaji would also always go in like the top 52. Newton wouldn't fall to 26. BB would go later. Pooney, that's about where he would go. Jalen Coker wasn't even on the list. I mean, remember that when we
yeah.
tried to draft him before? So I'm glad that they updated it. Glad for guys like Jalen Coker and, you mentioned almost drafting, what's his face? Jalix Hunt out of Houston
Hmm.
Christian. It's good that they added those guys because they deserve to be on there. And they're legitimate prospects that'll probably more likely than not get drafted.
I agree. And guys, this is the last mock that we're going to do on here, but we will be live with our
Yes, we will.
fifth annual. That is insane. Our
I know.
fifth annual Downtown Rams NFL draft stream on Thursday night, Friday night, and then during the day, Saturday. We are live streaming the entire draft as we
I think
do
this is
every
actually the
year.
sixth annual.
Well, the first one was 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. You're right.
I was just
Wait,
like,
that
hold
doesn't
on a
make
second.
sense. That doesn't make any sense. Oh,
Yeah, it
because it's
does.
only 2024. 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. That is crazy.
That's how
That is
numbers work. You
insane.
don't do like regular math otherwise. Because
Right,
like,
because I was thinking of 2019 as year zero, but it's not. You
yeah,
start one.
years are kind of weird like that.
That is crazy. So, guys, our sixth annual,
Sixth annual.
that is
We've
insane.
done them all
So,
together too. Like
20,
we've had different guests over the course of time,
right, but it's always been
but
you
it's
and
always
me.
been us.
We started in 2019 in Clifton Park. We
Yes.
2020 was the pandemic, so I was in St. Louis, you were in New York. 2021 we both were in New York. And in the past
In the
2
studio.
years.
That's right.
Yeah, in 21.
Yeah, the pandemic was
Crazy.
weird. It was like we just did like a Zoom. Like it was just like
That
a
was
group call.
brutal. That was
Yeah,
brutal
I
because it was
didn't
so
really
last
like
minute
that.
that we did that and but we did it. So guys, 6 years. So basically, if you guys want to tune in, it'll be live streaming from Jake's YouTube channel. I don't know if I think it'll just be on Jake's. I thought
I mean, we can put it on yours, and we could also put it. I don't know why I would put
I
it on the
don't really
Downtown
care.
Rams channel at this point. I don't really think it matters a hell of a whole lot, but
Well, it'll for sure be on Jake's channel. It starts at we will be live around 7:30 Eastern Thursday night.
yeah,
It'll be 7 Eastern Friday. I don't want to butcher the times. I don't have it in front of me, but it's basically whenever the draft starts. And we will be here the whole time. You can pop in, you can pop out. We'll be reading off the picks per usual because a lot of the people don't want to turn on their draft. They just want to hang out with us, but we still want to mention who everybody is taking for those interested. So Jake and I have a system that we've locked down over the past six streams where Jake is furiously typing into the ticker at the bottom that
it's easier to
has
do it on StreamYard. Otherwise, I literally
yeah
had to make a manual ticker one year.
yeah it was yeah so he's got that and then I just scream out picks when I see them for every team. I'm just like the Eagles just drafted X, the Cowboys just drafted Y, and it's a little manic, but it just works. So we do that and we talk
Good
about the picks and we
vibes,
talk about whatever you
pizza.
guys. Yeah, we order pizza. You guys are in the chat, so we're talking to you the whole time, answering your questions or talking about whatever, and it's really fun. It's like one of the highlights of our year, at least mine. It's just a really fun thing that we get to
Definitely.
do for 3 days. So Yeah, we're 3 days away. Right? Math? Hold
Yeah,
on.
no.
Today's Monday. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Thursday.
I see the years
So
are tripping you up now. You're never gonna let it go. Like,
I'm lost in space and time.
yeah,
I don't know what's real and what's not. But yeah, so Thursday night, guys, check out the Downtown Rams draft stream.
check it out.
It's the first stream we've done where we have a first round pick.
Well, 2019, they traded
They
down 3
technically had one,
times.
right, but so I guess I shouldn't speak because they could trade out of the first,
I
but I'm
shouldn't
feeling
speak.
optimistic. I'm feeling optimistic they won't.
By
So
the way,
I'm
I just
very excited.
realized I didn't even think about it. When they had that pick in 2019, we waited all night. Our audience
Yeah.
waited all night for them to pick, and then they just traded out of it. We're like,
Well, that might happen again this year, guys,
it
but
might. There's a chance.
we're in it with you. So yeah, just tune in and hang out because it's like I said, we love doing it every year and we all get to hang out and we all get to chat about the picks and whatever. And as day 3 rolls around, I mean, we're basically all just like having a chill hangout
Oh
session and
yeah,
there's just so much going on.
you can't
But
expect too much from us if we're gonna be live streaming 7 hours straight.
yeah, after every time we finish one of these draft streams, I'm always like, how did I just my back hurts because I'm sitting on my it's like a comfy chair, but for 7 hours, I start to
Anything
feel
will hurt
weird.
after 7 hours.
Yeah, and then it's just, but I'm not complaining because it's the opposite of that. It's very fun. So make sure to tune into that, guys. We will post something about it on our social medias, probably tomorrow. And yeah, tell your friends and come hang out. If you have a YouTube account, you can chat with us the entire time and we can interact and have fun. And it's going to be a blast. 2024 NFL Draft, 3 days away. But until then, guys, as always, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at the Alexis Kraft. You can follow Jake at JKBogan. And we will see you guys very soon. But until then, stay safe, take care, and go Rams.